Today, we're going to be breaking down a route that not enough players are running in Madden 25, and that is the running back post from the shotgun formation. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, get out your pen and pad, and let's lock in, because this is going to destroy the most prominent defense that you face online. Now, the running back post is going to be tied to a tight end shallow cross. You could also use a compressed receiver shallow cross. So make sure when you're choosing a formation, you're choosing something like a bunch tight end or something that has a tight end or a compressed receiver in with the running back on the same side. So for instance, I could also run this out of maybe a wing slot offset with one of the two tight ends on a shallow cross. I could do this out of a formation like the gun deuce. I could also do this out of a Z close. You guys get the gist here. It requires a running back and a tight end on the same side. And if no tight end, a receiver needs to be in tight to the line of scrimmage. So you can utilize him on a shallow cross first. Now, this concept is going to be really, really nice because it attacks the two most popular blitzes that we face online day in and day out with a this or that combo. And that is, I think, one of the biggest things that you have to do when you set up an offense in this game is always have a plan. If my opponent uses this guy, how do I attack him? Well, this is going to create conflict. They have to guard the tight end cross, or they're going to have to guard the running back on a post route. So let's go ahead and start this off with the Ram blitz. You should be no stranger to this blitz. It looks like this. Players will line up over the guard. When the ball is snapped, they will run into the guard, allowing the B gap pressure to come in. This is a blitz that is very, very popular. They also like to run a crossfire off of this as well. Well, here's why this is such a good combo against this meta. So when we start off here against this, we're starting with a tight end drag. That is the guy that is designed to go into the user. Traditionally, I will attack away from this combo, so we'll flood away from it. But this tight end drag is going to be the user's responsibility when they do the touch and go on this blitz. Now, in behind this, we have a route that we know that we can throw hot because, again, most players like to run this as a cover 4 hard flat. So if they do actually ram blitz us, I could actually throw the ball hot to the running back on a down pass lead out of the backfield. They will require a vertical hook to guard this. This could be a quick enough throw that will chase them out of this blitz or just at least make them make adjustments. Now, the cool part about that is that I did a video just last week on how to play a two-man game with your running back and your tight end out of trips tight end set. So if you're facing somebody that does start to run the ram blitz and they think, all right, well, that running back in the seam is wide open, I'm going to change my guy to a vert hook. This is still super useful because you can recognize that and go to the combo we talked about last week, which is the flat with the running back streak. And a lot of times with that, you're gonna be able to throw the ball quick in the flat to the tight end and scamper up the field for 20 yards. So your opponent is going to have to play multiple players to the short side of the field on this combo in order to guard it effectively. The other really cool thing about this as well is that this attacks the crossfire meta. Now, what we're going to do here is break down why this post route is so good. Not only is a quick throw out of the backfield like we just showed you against the Ram blitz, but it's also so good later in your progression out of a variety of different offensive formations. But before we do that, make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell, and also take a look at gridirongameplans.gg. I've been hard at work keeping you on top of the pro metas. That is what the pro players do, why it works, and most importantly, how you beat it when you face it online, whether it's a loop blitz or a ram blitz, or beating the cover 4 switch stick defensive shell, or blocking any other blitz in the game, or stopping the most prominent offenses such as the normal Y off close or the trips tight end flex. We have you covered in our vault, a weekly updated service focused on what the pro trends are and how to beat them. On top of that, you get all offensive and defensive game plans at no additional charge, members only Discord access, and we have 1 hour-long lab sessions that you can attend each and every week and ask anything about the game, and we can fix it right there for you on the spot and get you on your way to winning more games. Be sure you guys take advantage of the best deal in the tip space. $9.95 a month unlocks the entire website. Now let's get back into throwing this against the loop blitz. Now, the ram blitz is one where we have to throw the ball hot out of the backfield because, again, they're guaranteeing a pressure. The loop blitz, on the other hand, is a much more blockable defense, and it just basically requires one of probably 6 or 7 different setups that you guys can run. So when we start off with this, the first thing that I encourage people to do is do a slide protection away from the loop blitz and then a double team on the defensive end. What that will do is that will set the 2 players that are on the right side to block that player off the edge, and it reorients the center, the guard, and the left tackle to block the nose tackle, the defensive end, and the looper that's going to the left. So with this, we're going to keep our tight end drag. I'm going to hot route a running back post. You will need a hot route master tactician, running back apprentice. You guys get the gist. You need the hot routes for the running back on this. And once again, I also like to make sure that I'm flooding away from this. You can, if you want to, attack the middle of the field. I just don't want too much action going towards the tight end drag or the running back post. Those are the routes that I'm playing this or that with here. So we go ahead and snap the ball, use the drag to pull that user, and then this post route breaks in behind. And I know what some of you guys are probably saying on this. Why wouldn't you just use a Texas route? Well, the reason I don't like a Texas route over this is that this route breaks in at that second to third level of the field so much better. And what you can do is use this drag, and they have a very defined way that they have to use it. They have to take this, and then you see that the spacing of this is so much better with this route bending back over the middle. Look at where the post is breaking over the middle. It's at basically 10, 11 yards, but way, way, way to the outside. And I'm going to compare that real quick to the Texas route, which is what players used to run. If you think about it, this was one of the more popular combos over the last few years. You would just have a drag and then a Texas in behind. Well, the spacing on that is going to be so much tougher to work with here. So I can still set up, a drag with a Texas, but look how close those routes are compared to what these routes look like. You can just see pre-snap that this is going to be a lot more congested and honestly a lot easier to use. So you can actually bait this here to here. You see, that's not really that far to go. And if I'm a player that's struggling with the loop blitz, to have to make that split-second read under duress, that's what leads to, poor decisions, more interceptions, just bad spacing. Compare that to, once again, this combo here, where I can very easily flood the sideline. And as long as we know how to block this blitz, we're going to be fine. So we snap the ball, make them user, and then look at how much easier that is. It breaks more up the seam. So you get that hot throw to the low outside. You also have the post route that you're going to have wide open, because again, these safeties are not going to be playing so low that they are worried about a running back post. They're going to be more so worried about the action to the trip side of the field. And you see how much more room there is against this cover 4 switch stick style defense. There's really nowhere to switch stick to and actually impact this unless you're going to switch stick to the slot. And again, that goes back to what we talked about just last week here on the channel, where honestly, if they do decide that they want to start changing how they use her and maybe run their defense with the other guy looping, again, there's not much to this. I can still very easily play the 2-man game with whips and flats. They have to choose which way they want to go. And I could just throw this ball out of the backfield, whether it's a streak or a post. It really doesn't matter. But the post is going to be much better when you do have extra time, because it's not just going to run straight into a deep zone. It's going to kind of bend back over the middle and break down its route and give yourself a throw at that second level of the field that honestly other running back routes don't afford you. So make sure you guys are adding the running back post into your offense. It's one of the best routes that you could throw early against pressure, or if you could pick up the pressure, throw late as it breaks over the middle, or honestly against a max coverage based defense, it also has utility as well. But I'm going to get up out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you this afternoon with our next YouTube short, or tomorrow with our next long form upload. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.